So introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Mike-Bamiloye. I'm the writer, producer, and director for the movie Recitation or Recitation. Recitation.
Okay, so
Oh God!
I know Dam is supposed to be having an interview right now, but I'm hijacking this interview for us to talk about the Manzan Film Academy holding very soon.
Very soon.
So, Dami, please tell the audience about the Film Academy.
My name is Mike-Bamiloye. I'm the director,
Facilitator.
and facilitator. Yes.
And you'll be lecturing.
I'm lecturing, script writing, other things like cinematography, video editing, background music, and SFX. Why is it not here? Please the camera is directing and acting, social media, content creation. So many wonderful things, amazing things will be taught. Yes.
And the date would be?
All right, the date will be 10th of June to the 1st of July, 2023. Yes. You don't want to miss this experience. You don't want to miss this amazing opportunity to learn, from the wealth of experience from people like Mike-Bamiloye and many others. And Damla Mike-Bamiloye
and many other drama ministers.
Many other drama ministers. So many other drama ministers. It's going to be.
The classes will be recorded.
The classes will be recorded also, So
and they can watch at their convenience.
Sure, I can't just say this.
And you can watch at your own convenience. All right, so now let's do the last slogan. The Manzan Film Academy. Hi guys, my name is Mike-Bamiloye, aka Jaymikee, and today we are talking about The Line.
It's Jaymikee.
The Line. What is so special about The Line? So I was surfing the internet one day and I came across this brief documentary about a project that is ongoing in Dubai. Now, Dubai is one of the most prosperous countries in the United Arab Emirates. Is well known for its luxurious lifestyle and iconic architecture. In 2021, the city announced an ambitious project called The Line, and it is set to transform the way people live and move around in urban areas. The Line is a 170-kilometer long sustainable city that is meant to be carbon free. Now, for those who don't understand what 170 kilometers is, or the concept, for those of us in Nigeria, I browsed on the distance between Lagos and Ibadan, and it was about 140 kilometers, and that is about a 2-hour trip if you're on a relatively calm speed, about 2 hours. And now that line is 170 kilometers, so it's almost as long as 2 states combined. If that makes any sense. That's how long the line is. If you're looking at it from space, it's going to be like one straight line. That's just remarkable. Bear with me, I'm going to tell us why I'm talking about the line, because people are wondering, Joshua, what does this have to do with Christianity? What does this have to do with faith or about filmmaking? I'll get to that in a bit, but let me just finish everything that I read on the internet, okay? So the line will also be home to several advanced technologies such as AI robotics, which will play a significant role in providing services and infrastructure. For example, robots will be used for waste collection, recycling, while AI-powered systems will help manage the city's energy and water consumption. I'm rounding up. Another essential feature of the line is that it will be self-sufficient. All right, to be a self-sufficient city, it will have its water supply and it will generate its energy through renewable sources such as wind, solar power. This will make it a sustainable and eco-friendly city that is not dependent on external resources. I'm rounding up. I promise you I'm rounding up. So the budget of this project, let me clear my sweat, because we're talking about budgets. The budget of this project is 500, not thousand, not million, but billion, not naira, but dollars. $500 billion, and it's estimated to accommodate about 9 million people. Okay, I'm done. Now I've talked about everything. I'm not advertising the line, I promise. They didn't even pay me to do this. I wish. Why am I talking about this? So the first time I heard about this, it truly fascinated me. It felt like something out of this world. All right, everyone I showed was like, wow. There was that expression on everybody's face, like, wow. But soon after, something hit me. A lot of us either have not really sat down to think about the realities of what heaven will look like, or we have kind of forgotten about it due to several other things going on here on earth. The Bible describes heaven as a place of peace, of beauty, of joy, where believers will live in the presence of God for eternity. According to the Bible, in the book of Revelations, it describes heaven as a place of incredible beauty and grandeur. It speaks of the streets of gold, gates of pearls, and crystal clear rivers that flows from the throne of God. The walls of the city are made of precious stones, and the foundation is adorned with gems of every color. Okay, now on a side note, the more I think about this, the more I realize that when the Bible was written, especially in the book of Revelations, when it came to descriptions, John did his best to describe what he saw in his own visions. But his explanations and analogies or comparisons would be limited to what he could compare them to at the time. For example, if he saw helicopters, there is nothing like a helicopter, or there is nothing like saying this thing looked like a helicopter. He would probably say this thing, it was a giant-headed dragon with spinning wings. That's probably what he would say, because that's what he can compare it to, dragons or beasts, etc., etc. So probably if he saw something that looked really beautiful and shiny, the closest comparison to that would be gold, crystals, all right, silver, etc., etc. But we all know that heaven is most likely going to be way more beautiful than those descriptions. Anyway, back to the topic. Heaven is also described as a place of fellowship and community. Believers will be reunited with loved ones who have passed away, and they will enjoy the company of other believers from all over the world. It will be a place where we enjoy God's presence to the fullest. I remember back when I was much younger, some nights when we are sitting together with my dad, my brother and my sister and I, when we are sitting together with my dad, and probably the electric companies have done their thing that they do sometimes in Nigeria, where they make us appreciate light. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. So at those times, there'll be like a candle or a lantern in our middle, and to be like a camp out. And so in those nights, I remember one of those particular nights where we all started talking about what heaven would look like. My father would try to describe how each of our houses would look like, and we would be so excited hearing about it. He could say something like, oh, Joshua's mansion in heaven is probably going to be so big, and it's probably going to have a giant piano at the corner, and then canvas where you can paint. So all those things used to get us excited back then. So the thought of going to heaven was so fascinating to us. Of course, not that we want to go now, but the thought was so excited that, oh, after this world, there is something so beautiful coming that we are going to still experience together. That was back then. So then I realized that in the world today, we don't really talk about that anymore. The place we are going to spend the much larger part of our lives, we don't really talk about that anymore. So many activities have overshadowed our thinking. Many people are focused on making it today. I mean, I'm sure if we're told that a number of us are going to be selected to relocate to the majestic edifice, which is the line in 2025, a lot of people will be planning towards that, and everything that we'll probably be doing, assuming you're in Nigeria or in the US or wherever, and then they tell you that you have a chance to be chosen to live in this beautiful city that has no smoke emission or whatever, and everybody lives in a technologically advanced community. A lot of people would be excited, and in fact everything that you do right now will be planning for that, because you feel, oh, so if someone is trying to argue with you over a piece of clothing or whatever, you'd be like, don't worry, I mean, I'm probably going to wear the clothes I'll be wearing will be computerized or AI connected and all that. So all of this, and why I'm gisting us about this majestic project that is probably going on in Dubai, is because I want to use this to bring back to our consciousness the thought of heaven and the thought of the life after this life, because that is going to be where we're going to be spending the largest chunk of our life. Our life doesn't end here, it continues. And I've noticed we don't really talk about that anymore. Like I said, we are more focused on prosperity, making it here, our enemies dying. I mean, all these things are not bad. It is not bad to want to live well. It is not bad to want to prosper. But I feel that we should also, from time to time, bring back to our consciousness. And I believe this is also what God would love the most, for us to be conscious of where we are going from here. I mean, the book of Colossians chapter 3 says, since then you have been raised with Christ, set your hearts on things above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds on things above, not on earthly things, for you died and your life is now hidden with Christ in God. There's another passage that talks about where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. So what am I trying to say? From time to time, as we struggle with our daily activities and challenges and our obstacles and our daily experiences and so on and so forth, let us keep in mind that there is still a greater destination than whatever destination we are aiming for here, which is our home. And also, if you have friends or you have relatives or you have acquaintances or partners or whatever, and they haven't yet come to the knowledge of Christ or the knowledge of the love of Christ, now would be a good time to consider preaching to them from time to time, because no matter what they have now, or no matter the relationship you have now, if you haven't tried to preach to them or to bring them to the knowledge of Christ, where you are going, they are not going. All right. So if you want them to also end up where you are going, which is in heaven, to be at the feet of Christ, and for everybody to meet together and be happy and joyful, please take that time to preach to them, because as we always say, tomorrow might be too late. So it's time we set back our priorities and focus, because heaven is the real goal. The Bible says in 1 John chapter 2 verse 7 that the world and all its desires will pass away, but whoever does the will of the Father will live forever. So let this video be a wake-up call and a reminder that there is a better place than here. There is a better home than here. There is a final destination than here. And let that always be at the back of your minds, whatever you do. Let me just end there. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this episode of the vlog. Till next time, my name is Mike-Bamiloye, aka Jaymikee, and I'll see you around. Bye-bye.